Greetings YouTube, it's me, mrluisalonzo. On our last journey, we had the greatest ever date with Mary. Today, we're gonna fail some more as we go side questing. We got the angular key, so anglers, whatever. Now the annoying O. So we got the angler's key. I'm gonna pronounce it anglers from here on in. And ideally we could go and enter the next dungeon, beat the boss, get the next instrument, and carry on our merry way. But no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let you guys suffer. Marin singing. So, last episode I said that it's going to be the last time that Marin sings in Mabe Village, right? Well, it's the last time that Marin sings in Mabe Village. She now sings in Animal Village. And from here on in, whenever we're in Animal Village, we're always going to be stopping to listen to Marin sing. Of course, there's nothing anybody can do about it because Marin singing is amazing. And the Ballad of the Windfish is iconic. So, there you have it. I am currently recording this video in the day November 11th, 2011. Otherwise known as 11/11. And 11/11/11 is a cool day. It's a great day. We're gonna have to open that crack rock later. But 11/11/11 is Veterans Day. It's also the anniversary of the 11th hour, of the 11th day, of the 11th month, which is the armistice of World War I. So, for today's topic, we're gonna be talking about war and military. What are my opinions of war and military? Well, as a certain guy, I think a German guy said, war is a continuation of policy. It is the continuation of policy. In my honest opinion, I believe that war creates history. History revolves around war, the warfare of humans, and how war and violence create human interaction and thus bring us all together into one happy family. Of course, I'm lying when I say one happy family, but the person that said war is a continuation of policy by other means is... yeah, he was Russia. No, he was German. Actually, he was Prussian, but the Prussians are German. Don't let anyone know that. And he was the one that said it. His name is Karl Philipp Gottfried von Clausewitz. And he's the one that said war is a continuation of policy by other means. Smile face. As unfortunate as it is that people have to die in war. War is like one of the primary ways for human progress to occur, besides science and technology. Those are the three primary ways that humans progress in life, through science, technology, and war. And in a sense, all of them interlink to each other because technology is definitely necessary in war. It's almost always the case that if you have better technology, the outcome that you win in battles will be a lot higher than if you had not as good technology. For instance, the Indian Wars during the 19th century America. Clearly, American soldiers had better weapons. Some Indians had like American guns or muskets and so forth, but it was impossible for them to keep up with American technological process or prowess. And before I continue on, this was an interesting discovery. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but I was just on my way lollygagging and I decided, hey, I want to play the Ballad of the Windfish in front of the egg just because I'm bored. And guess what happens? You'll see for yourself. I was shocked when I saw that happen. Like, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I thought that you can only do that with all 8 instruments, but apparently the earliest that you can do it is when you get the Pegasus boots, and that's after you beat the 3rd dungeon. The earliest you can actually do it is the least instruments you can actually start off doing that is 2. Considering that you went to the 3rd dungeon, got the Pegasus boots, and then left the 3rd dungeon, and then traveled up Tao Heights. That is the earliest that you can do it. But of course I did it the old-fashioned way, so I'm thinking about later doing a compilation video of all the instruments leading all the way up to the 8th instruments, so that we can see the evolution of the Ballad of the Windfish. I think that's going to be an interesting project to take up. It's going to be lots of fun. I can't wait. But first I need to beat the game first. And I'm getting there. So, technology plays a huge role in war, and war also plays a huge role with technology. I mean, it's necessary to have better technology so that you can have an upper advantage against your foes, right? And it's also necessary that you can mass produce technologies, certain technologies. So basically, as the quote goes, don't open treasure chests that have monsters in them. No, that's not the quote. The quote is, don't grab a guardian acorn when you're about to fail. Piece of power and guardian acorn. Epic fail. Now, the real quote was, necessity is technology's mother. Yes, that was the quote. And he's eating a pineapple, and he gives you a hibiscus in return. So basically, he stole my food, he stole our food, and gave us a flower. What kind of trade is that? That's the stupidest trade ever. Necessity is technology's mother. So because technology is needed, because better technology is needed, better technology is going to be created in war, primarily. But also, science plays a huge role with war, because, for instance, Napoleon and his journey to Russia. Now, we all know what happens when you go to Russia in history, basically. History tells us that if you're an idiot and you go to Russia, then you're going to have hundreds of thousands of people dying because of the code. But it's not just history telling us that, it's also science. Science plays a huge role in war too. If you don't have certain necessary information like weather patterns or biological medicinal information, all those scientific information, then you're just basically writing a death sentence. And of course, war also leads to the improvement of science. Anesthetics was created. I believe it was created during the Civil War so that patients won't have to feel as much pain as possible when they're getting amputated because of war wounds and other scientific advancements. Scientific advancements of rocket propulsion led to the creation of V-2 rockets that were unusable in World War II, which in turn led to rockets that would ship us out to space. And military technology and sciences led to NASA, the formation of NASA, and a lot of our current household technologies. Of course, one of the greatest technological and scientific accomplishments from the military is the reason why we're watching videos on YouTube today. It's the internet. Once again, necessity is technology's mother. And it can also be the other way around. Technology is also necessities. According to, I was about to say Howard Zinn. No, it's Jared Diamond. Read the book if you ever get the chance, Guns, Germs, and Steel, or just watch the documentary. They're both the same. And that will give you complete and utter insight on science, technology, war, how things happen, and why things are the way they are now. And that's my general opinion about war. War, as unfortunate as it is, as tragic as it is, as how many people have died during battles and wars, it is nonetheless always gonna progress human society. Even the war in Afghanistan, even the war in Iraq, no matter how like useless it is to the American people, it's going to progress society. The Indian Wars did progress society, even though it was basically a one-sided war and technically genocidal. The term genocidal in context with the Indian Wars is up for debate, but it nonetheless brought Americans to the West Coast. So all you guys watching in Oregon, if you're in Oregon, if there's somebody that's somewhere watching this video in Oregon, well, don't thank, but be grateful. Don't be grateful. That's cruel. Just know, that's better. Know that the reason why you're in Oregon right now is because the American military was sending Indians to reservations, and that those who did not comply were fought against and defeated, or they would massacre. In the case of General Custer, who was last of his class in West Point and pretty much an ass. So, ignore the pseudo legends of General Custer. The Last Stand does sound pretty nice though. Now, besides talking about the progression of society, in order to get this piece of heart, you need to move that boulder and just jump around. Do a diagonal jump. Originally, you're supposed to get the hook shot and bomb that broken rock, but the oversight of the diagonal jump was just too much, too large, and proved pretty useful for getting that piece of art. Now, in the game right now, I'm just walking around, side questing and stuff. Just finishing up the trading game for as far as I can before I move on to the next round. And the next round is Angler's Tunnel, I believe. It's pretty cool. I like it, but it's, of course, the next round. And ironically, this is the 10th video. The next video is going to be number 11. And I'm talking about video number 11 on the 11th day, the 11th month of the 11th year in the millennium 2000. 11. Now I'll continue talking about veterans and soldiers. Now, I'm an avid supporter of the military. I believe, and I'm saying this right now before anything, it's very controversial what I believe. Well, not controversial, but a lot of people will disagree with me. But I believe in the military action in Afghanistan and Iraq right now. But, well, not in Iraq anymore because, thankfully, the soldiers are returning home at the end of this year, the year 2011, and I'm sure a lot of them who has returned right now are being welcomed warmly because their families and their friends miss them, and that's a lot better than Vietnam, definitely. Over here, I'm talking to Alrira because there's a photo up. You gotta press the A button on the right window and Mouser comes. I wonder why I call him Mouser. who's just known as the photographer. Nothing more, nothing less. And you give her the broom, and she gives you a fishing hook, and that is right now as far as you can go for the trading game. Afterwards, you need the Zora flippers in order to continue on with the trading game. Otherwise, you'll just be drowning to death. So, right now, I'm just gonna be making my way downtown, walking fast, pacing fast, and oh yeah. I am such an idiot. Such an idiot. But now I'm gonna be going to the Angler's Cave, and I believe in the action that's happening in Afghanistan. The reason why I believe in it is because I think that if we don't do something to at least minimize the threat of the Taliban, then when we leave Afghanistan, because we're not going to be there forever, we're just going to be there for a long time. When we leave Afghanistan, there's more of a chance for like the people in Afghanistan not to be threatened by their radical religious what was that called? Well, basically it is radical religion. Damn, I forgot the word. But like their radical religious beliefs. Like for instance, women in Afghanistan would die from stoning if they weren't wearing the veils that covered their face. That was how serious Taliban regime was. Basically, if you're a female and you weren't covered your face, or if you had a slight adulterous relationship with somebody else, you will die for your actions. No question asked. You will die. And I don't think that we're living in an age right now where that should be acceptable. If it's your belief, I mean, if you have an entire society that believes in it, then I'm not going to judge your belief. But this is the 21st century, and we need to move on from, as they say, Bronze Age mythologies. Now, I'm going to be failing some more, so enjoy my failure, and when the time comes, so long for now. Peace.